Started. Quiet, class. All right. At this time, I would like to welcome our moderator, Miss Tricia Johnson, to the stage. Come on up. All yours.
Okay, hold tight. I gotta put this. No, I got it. Everything's organized here. I gotta put the mic thing on. All right, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to see all of you this morning. I'm Tricia Johnson. I work for Seminole County Government and one of the, who's giving me the thumbs up back there? It's good to see you, whoever you are. I can't tell with your mask on, but you look super excited to be here, so. Oh, it's John Gillen, of course. John Gillen, ladies and gentlemen, Seminole State College. I oversee tourism for Seminole County Government, so it's my pleasure to welcome our guests today, all of whom I've had the opportunity to work with personally or with their organization. So I'd like to welcome to the stage first Dino Ferri, who is with the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Thank you. Rose Nunn with Wekiva Island. And last but not least, Greg Pflug with Adventures in Florida. Thank you all for being here this morning. Okay. So obviously the question of the day is, how have your organizations dealt with the pandemic since its inception in March? So Greg, why don't we start with you? How is your business doing in relation to the pandemic?
Our day tours, which we specialize in for people visiting Central Florida, is down a lot. However, it's being made up by how many rentals we're doing by locals, because they're bored being in their homes, so they're coming out, and our rentals are extremely well, especially Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Terrific. So, yeah, one part of the sector went down, another one went up, so it's good.
Dino, how about the zoo?
When it first started, obviously, we were closed for a long time. That didn't help anything. Once we opened back up, and we were fortunate, at least in the zoo and aquarium industry across the U.S., we were in a region that opened a lot quicker than the rest of the country. So it definitely helped us. We're nowhere near the percent of attendance where we were years past, but some is better than none.
And let me ask, are you back up to 100% attendance, or you're still required to keep it at a 50 or 75%?
Currently, we are still keeping it at, well, actually, no, starting in November, we went back up to full attendance. Okay. But even during the closure, we were at 50% capacity. I think with the fear of people, going out, we still never even hit that 50%.
Got it. And Rose, how about Wekiva Island? How have you been doing since the pandemic?
Well, since March, we have spent 18 weeks with our bar totally closed. Our bar sales make up about 52% of our business, so that was a big hit. But we do have canoes and kayaks and paddleboard rentals, so that really did help us keep our head above water. Bar's been back open for about 6 weeks now, so we are slowly getting back to normal there.
And as each of you are preparing to reopen, I'm sure you kind of took the temperature of your guests and visitors. What's important to them as they go to your business and try to get out and about, whether they're local or visiting from out of the region? Whomever likes to start. Dino, I'm looking at you. You start first.
Yeah, we did send out a survey to a lot of our members, and I'd say probably 80% of the most important thing they looked for was social distancing and disinfection. That was their top of their list.
Great. Oh, sorry, Rose, go ahead, please.
I would agree with Dino. Just cleanliness and safety is our guests' biggest concern. And we're just sanitizing every 30 minutes, all of our common areas, and we've tried to make everything as touchless as we can with our guests. So all of their payments are touchless now. We've installed our toilets are automatic, our sinks are automatic, paper towels automatic, just so people are touching as little as they can, and it's worked out for us so far.
We're out in the woods, so it's really easy. We have facila trees.
So now, are all of you requiring your guests to wear masks as they go through, or is it more of a social distancing type?
So for us on our shuttles, if they have to be shuttled in one of our vans, a 15-passenger van now takes 6 people, and they have to be masked up.
Yeah, for us, we do have a mask policy where you have to have a mask on. And it's funny, it's about 50-50 split. As far as the complaints we get, the people who are non-maskers complain they have to wear a mask, and those that wear masks complain about those that don't wear masks. So it's a lose-lose situation. But we are mandating it. We have a little bit different beast, even though we're outdoors. There are cases where animals have been, inflicted with COVID. Just Zoo Knoxville had 3 tigers that came up positive from people. So it is something that we have to look out for.
And at Chive Island, we are also mandating masks. So all of our guests, they come in, they get their temperature checked. We make sure they have masks on. We ask them when they're interacting with staff. So at the bar or our food services, they have the mask on. If they're going downriver or in their small groups, they can take their masks off.
Got it. So we know that the tourism industry is probably the hardest hit as a result of the pandemic, and our Seminole County hotels have seen a 55 to 60% reduction in occupancy, and from a tourist development tax collection, which is primarily collected through our hotels, we've seen our average collection was about 5.8, 5.9 million a year, and we're down to about 3.5 million a year. So the industry as a whole has taken a massive hit. From a revenue standpoint, what have you seen in terms of comparison to a year ago from a revenue or business standpoint?
At least for the zoo, by the end of this year, just from things we've known that have been canceled or stopped because of COVID, we'll have lost $2.5 million. That's roughly half of our budget, so it was definitely a big hit.
Mm-hmm. Right, or Rose, please.
So basically at Wekiva Island, it's an outdoor facility. We are weather dependent. When it is nice and sunny, we are busy. So from March through September is our busiest time of the year, which obviously we were either shuttered or bar closed. I'd say we're probably going to be down about 70% from last year.
All right. So we also go to 18 countries for kayak tours, and we usually do 20 a year, and we got 2 off this year before all the borders got shut down. So that business is just gone. And then our domestic tours are down about 80%.
Have you seen a slow uptick? Are you seeing any recovery, or is it pretty flat with what you've experienced from?
We're flat.
Flat.
Yeah. But again, our rental business is doing very well.
Yeah, for the zoo, we started to creep up a little bit, and then it's just everything is related to what you see in the news. People see in the news that numbers are going up, our numbers go down. It's just it relates so quick and so just it's immediate. It's amazing to see that whatever's on the news that night, the next day or two or that upcoming weekend, our numbers just drop.
Have you all had to change any of your marketing or messaging? We for our tourism Instagram folks, we would post pictures of various folks out kayaking or at a restaurant in downtown Sanford, and the feedback was immediate. If it was not messaged appropriately, folks wearing masks, socially distanced, it was just nasty. And we've had to put a couple $100,000 into content development to stay consistent with what's going on with the pandemic, whether it be masks or just pretty pictures of lakes and no people. Have you had to change any of that messaging or content for your organizations?
The zoo, we had to change all of our signage for like any of our animal encounters, giraffe feeds. So we have to buy all new signs saying that everybody must wear a mask, even anybody 2 years or older if they're in there, even if they have a medical condition where they're not supposed to wear a mask. For that short 1 minute thing, attraction, they need to wear the mask. So yeah, it was a lot of that, and all of our media, PR pictures on our website all had to be taken down and put with people wearing masks, et cetera, just because we want to show people that we are a safe place to come this time in this crazy world right now.
Right. Rose, Greg, did you have to change anything?
I would say that we definitely have been focusing our social media on kayaks and canoes, on coming to Wekiva Island, enjoying the beauty of Wekiva Island, but going downriver and socially distancing and just still being able to have fun, but not in our large groups as we would have done this time last year.
Since we don't do a lot of large groups, the only thing we've had to change is our signage. That's about it. Everything else is pretty consistent.
So let's talk about the group meeting sector. So large conventions or even conferences of 300 people. Tourism studies show that that will be the last industry to recover, the large group meetings. And we know that the Orange County Convention Center has taken a tremendous hit as a result of this. And many of our local hoteliers, particularly the 4 full-service hotels that we have in the county, have seen a hit because of group meetings dwindling or being non-existent. Have you seen an impact related to that industry being essentially virtually nil? Have you seen an impact as well?
For the zoo, I don't think directly related to conventions. We don't get a whole lot of those people coming out to Sanford from Orlando. But all of our big events, our big fundraising events, 2 of them this year that had to be canceled because of the numbers. I mean, that was about a $170,000 hit just not having those 2 events. So it definitely, we're feeling an impact from groups. Group rentals for our event space, are non-existent for the most part. So that's about it for us.
Anything at Wekiva or Adventures in Florida?
I would say that our groups, our company events, probably from 50 to 100 people, we've definitely seen a massive decline in those. We do still have people coming out for our cabana rentals. We ask them to keep their groups 10 and under. So we do still see some companies coming out. It's just, it's a much smaller number than previously.
Yeah, we haven't heard from any DMCs this year since March.
Really?
Okay. Usually Mears will call once or twice a week, and there's just nothing for those groups.
So from an event standpoint, and I don't know, this might be more specific to Dino, but organizations all over, not-for-profits in particular, are trying to reinvent how they're going to host their fundraisers. What are they going to do? Are you having to, the black tie on the wild side, I know that's typically in the, well, I don't want to misspeak, I thought it's usually in the summer.
September, yeah.
September, okay. So are you rethinking that? I know, working with the Foundation for Seminole State College, how are they going to handle their gala this year? Is that something that you all are trying to brainstorm with your organization as well?
Yeah, for that, we did look at it. Again, it's usually in September, so our events people were trying to look at the logistics. They were reaching out to other zoos and aquariums that did the same. And yeah, they're still making money, but an example, New Orleans, the Audubon Zoo, they have the largest fundraiser, a non-medical fundraiser in the U.S. They usually average their gala about $5 million. They did it virtually, and they were under $1 million. Now, don't get me wrong, $1 million is a lot. But when you put all that expense into it, it was something that we did not feel comfortable trying to rush to get done, at least this year.
Certainly. And I will give a shout out to the Chamber because the Seminole Chamber is the first organization that I've been involved with that is having in-person meetings. Now there are more, but when you started your luncheons a few months ago, and I'll be honest, I was kind of like, they're crazy, but what are they doing? But I went because, I'm on the board and I felt like I needed to be there, and I already had COVID, so I thought, well, what the heck? But it actually was and is done extremely well. I felt very safe and thought they have done everything they can to make sure that their members and visitors want to be here and want to return. And so really impressed with that. And I know as these organizations try to figure out how are we going to get back to this sense of normalcy, we're having to be creative and spread out and wear masks and so forth, but it certainly can be done. So hopefully you'll be able to bring back. I know certainly missed Brews Around the Zoo this year, one of your best events. So one of the things that Seminole County really benefits from is our ecotourism, and all of you have businesses that benefit from being primarily outside. Do you think that has helped in terms of bringing visitors back to your organization faster than maybe some of the more indoor attractions?
I think so, without a doubt. I mean, when we first opened back up and the state went to, where we could open back up, I mean, the amount of people that, the guests that were coming into the zoo were stopping and thanking didn't matter who had a zoo uniform on, if it was the people cleaning, if it was, you know, the animal staff, they were thanking them for us being open and giving them a place to get out. Again, it's that cabin fever, man. I think people were just, they were just dying to get out. So it definitely helped us as opposed to a lot of the, you know, indoor facilities.
Rose, what about Chive Island?
I would say the same thing, cabin fever. It's after we got through lockdown. You know, people are appreciating things that they, you know, took for granted previously. Just being able to go out and enjoy nature and go downriver and just enjoy the peacefulness. So I think that once lockdown was lifted, we definitely did see a lot of people just itching for anything to do. And to be able to be outside and spread out from other people, we definitely did benefit from that.
What we benefited mostly from is it took the state park system stayed closed longer than the Seminole County Park system, and same with Orange County Parks. So us having an outfitter shop at Wilson's Landing Park on the Wekiva, we were the only thing open for like 3 weeks, and it was great. Our phone was ringing off the hook.
As Mary Sue was saying, you guys had been selling out kayaks every day. I mean, you couldn't keep up, so I imagine it was the same. So I know a lot of folks have really found, I mean, so many people during this pandemic have lost weight and gotten in shape. I'm not one of them, but I'm really thrilled for all of them that have. But really this sense of I got to get outside and embracing that and kind of taking on some new habits and activities. So what would you say if you were going to look back on the last several months? Is there something positive that for your organization has come out of this, that you've, you know, way of doing business differently, or just how your team has been managing through? What is something positive you've seen?
For the zoo, those that know me know I'm usually a joker. For me, the most positive thing was I haven't had to wear a coat or a tie since February. But in all seriousness, it's the support of the local city of Sanford. You know, they were a big supporter of us. The Seminole County, huge supporter. If it wasn't for, you know, support like that, and then from the private folks, you know, I don't know if we would even if I'd be here now. Things were tough. So seeing the support it brought out, and I think was probably the biggest thing that we truly take to heart at the zoo.
Great. Greg?
I'd have to say the community. The kayaker community, canoe community is really small and very tight and very family-like, is a good way to describe it. But without so many people going in different directions and staying local, at least our two outfitter shops, it was like a community hub where everybody met. And of course we social distance, but you got to meet a lot of new people, and a lot of new people came into that family. And I don't know, it's really heartwarming that, you know, discover a lot of new people and just how tight a community is. You know, I like that sense.
Rose?
I would say the same thing, the love and support from our regulars in our community. When we had our bar shut down, it was a massive hit to our sales, and our regulars were coming out. They were buying all the merchandise we had. They were going out on the boats. They were doing anything they could to support us. And so that was really, really nice to see, just the love that people have for Wilcarb Island.
Terrific. So, knock on wood, we won't be going through something like this again. And when I say something like this, obviously there's the third wave or 54th wave or whatever we're on right now. But if we think about if we were to have to start all over, what do you think our community could do differently? What have we learned from this so that if we have to go through something of this nature again down the road, what could we do a little differently?
Yeah, go ahead, Dino.
I'm a science guy, so I'm going to go with the science. I just think that, and I'm not trying to cause any debates here, but I just think science is just that, it's science. And I think that following and learning from that is a big help.
Got it. Greg?
Yeah. I don't know exactly how, you know, it could have been stopped or slowed or anything like that, but if there was a way to do it, it should have been done and implemented and be solid, concrete, and get it over with quick.
Rose?
Probably just the cleanliness and maybe starting the social distancing earlier, before we thought it was a big thing. I think could have saved some people from getting sick.
I'll just add one more thing. You know, it's funny because when this all came out, they wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. What the hell was everybody doing before?
So we're going to take some questions from the audience, but before we do, certainly as a business organization, the Chamber and our members want to know what can we do moving forward, whether it's related to the pandemic or not, to help your business. How can the people in this room, the people watching on Zoom, and just Seminole County as a whole support your business moving forward?
I can give you my Venmo account. And come out and rent boats, go on tours, tell people about us. I mean, our county has so much natural lands where you can social distance. I mean, there's tons of land, tons of trail. Get people excited about that. Have them start using it. And the county could step up and buy more public land for people to use.
No problem. Got it. Write that down.
Yeah, for the zoo, it's the same thing. Just, you know, come on out, enjoy the zoo. It is a safe place. Even if there's somebody who is refusing or being difficult about a mask, you can still easily stay 10 feet away, 12 feet away. You know, for businesses, if you're looking for something to do, we got the aerial course. So it's a good place for, you know, businesses to go out and do some team building that's still socially distanced. Just come on out, buy a membership, enjoy.
Rose?
We are coming up on the holiday season at Wekiva Island. If you've never been down there during Christmas, it is beautiful. We jazz the whole place up, lights everywhere. We have fake snow. We will see what social distance Santa Claus looks like. We are not sure on how that's going to go yet, but he will be there. And it's a really fun time, the whole month of December down there. So we hope people come down and enjoy.
This is your Winter Wonderland event that you're talking about.
Correct.
So you still plan on doing that?
It will be a smaller version as compared to last year, but we will have Santa, we will have Mrs. Claus, we will have snow, we will have lights. And then we're hoping maybe to get one of the characters. Last year we had the Grinch come out. And we're still finalizing some stuff there, but we will definitely be having our Winter Wonderland all throughout the month of December.
Well, that's great news to hear that you're continuing that. So what questions can, and I'm sorry, do we need to your point earlier, Ben, if someone has a question, stand up and just holler. Okay. So, thank you very much. Oh, yes. So who has a question for our panel today? Yes, ma'am.
So do you guys all, since the holiday season is coming up, does everybody have gift cards that people can buy, like for, you know, zoo memberships or, you know, boat rentals or you know, rentals?
Yes.
So let me repeat that do these organizations have gift cards that folks can buy coming up in the holiday season? So
The zoo definitely does.
Yeah, we have them available all year.
We do as well, and during the holiday season, we normally, for every $50 you buy, you get a $10 free one with it.
okay, thank you for that. Yes, sir.
My question is for Dino. Dino, I wasn't even aware that we had a zoo. If somebody has a large family, like I have a family of 6, what would a family pass run? What would that get me?
Question is what? What is the family pass cost for a zoo? For the zoo, excuse me. That is located in the city of Sanford, off I-4 in 1792. Go ahead.
Yeah, we do have the family pack membership annual pass, and it's $99. And if you just figure out the cost for 6 people to come in, it almost pays for itself after your first trip. And thank you. I think you work for New York Life. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Tourism is obviously divided between what's local, dry market, out of state, and international. With everything that's going on right now, what is the main focus for you guys to try to get the word out?
So the question is, what is the main focus for these businesses to get the word out between the drive market, the international tourism market, local, and so forth?
Yeah, we're 100% local right now. Everything we do is marketed towards locals.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same. We do have some ticketing promotion deals with some companies out of Europe, But since travel is just really slow right now, we're just really focusing, local.
And we are the same. We are definitely focusing on local business.
So follow up on that, so everyone that's local could be an ambassador for you guys to get the word out of state, dry market, international, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, all of our folks, our residents need to be ambassadors for our local attractions and businesses in general. So that's kind of what you've got right now for a period of time. So although we were talking about the cruise industry, some good deals going on there. I mean, my wheels are spinning on that because we're all ready to get the heck out of here. So I'm excited to hear things are slowly coming back. Any other? Yes, ma'am.
So I'd like to know how have you thought about bringing different, or extending your audience with maybe classes, thinking about permaculture, composting, all these things that could attract gardening, that could attract new audiences, maybe small classes. And I'm saying that because Orlando is doing that in smaller groups, so that could be a good way to get more interest in these places, especially the Suete and Wekiva.
So let me just ask a quick question. When you say Orlando, you mean the city of, or?
The city is promoting everything about,
Right. Mm-hmm.
sustainability, ecotourism. They have the flip farming ideas for us. And I think Seminole, with just, the natural beauty that we have to also promote that, the ecotourism, and also bring those people to these small places for gardening, compost,
Sure.
permaculture, because we don't have a place. I don't see a place so that everyone goes to Orlando for that. So it would be a good thing to bring a new audience to places like this.
So for our Zoom audience, the question is, what are these organizations doing to kind of broaden their audience? Classes, particularly classes related to gardening or outdoor activities, to bring in more folks. And I know the zoo alone offers a lot of classes. I can't wait till they come back for my 5-year-old. So how are you handling that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it is a weakness, so to speak, for Seminole County. I think not against the county, just the fact that nobody has stepped up to that and done that. We at the zoo already do our composting and we do all that stuff. Unfortunately, we had a lot of layoffs and we haven't brought everybody back, so we don't have the staffing to do said schools and classes and such. But it's definitely something I'm going to make a note of because that is a great idea.
And I'm not sure if Wekiva or eventually, if you are able to even, if you've offered classes in the past or thought about that in the future.
Yeah, so we have the County Park, Wilson's Landing County Park with 65 acres. So we've been reaching out a lot of the clubs and the online meetup groups. So now we have Saturdays, we have a sunrise yoga class, which I don't participate in. I just watch and drink coffee. And and we also have the first Sunday of every month is free. So everything we do is free. So we get a lot of people after church, young groups, things like that. And we do that just so people that don't have a job or have a lot of money can still use a public area like the river. We all own the river, so we make access free for all, first Sunday of the month.
And class-wise, we have brought back our wine and paint event. We do that once a month. It's the first Wednesday. It was last night, actually. And then we are bringing back our river cleanups. We do those once a month. If you come down to Chive Island, you get a free canoe. As long as you go out with a net, you come back with trash. And that's all we ask.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I will say the county, our extension services program does offer classes, although not composting, to your point. So that's something I will take back, but there are a lot. And then I know a lot of we have 7 cities in the county. Individual cities also offer different types of classes, so I recommend checking those out too. I saw someone, yes ma'am. And then the gentleman after her. No, you're fine, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good morning. Dino, you kind of opened the door, and this is where I wanted to go. So speaking of employees that work for your organization, a lot of businesses either are not able to fully open, given the opportunities now, because of either people are not coming back, or you aren't yet making enough money to be able to bring back people that you laid off. Would each of you please talk about your employee situation and where you are with that and the struggles that you may be experiencing?
So the question relates to employees and have they all come back? And if not, what are the struggles these businesses are dealing with related to staffing and getting their work done with less help?
Yeah, unfortunately, we laid off 40% when we first shut down. It's a big chunk of people when you have about 116 employees. We brought a good chunk of those back, but we still have some positions just because of the current status. There's a lot less events. We had to lay off, one of our events team people. Some of the, just across the board, just different areas where we really had to tighten it up. And anybody that's salaried all got, huge salary reductions. We've all been on salary reductions since March. What we're doing, we've tried to, we sent out a survey to all of our staff that is still, at the zoo. And it was an anonymous, just tell us about your struggles that COVID is bringing you, the zoo's bringing you, or personal. And I'll tell you what, I get goosebumps because it was, you always say, watch what you ask for because what you're going to get. It was heart-wrenching, some of the stuff that people are going through, both, physically or mentally dealing with the stressors. So it opened our eyes. We've had a lot of meetings with staff and brought a lot of opportunities to hopefully help them get through the struggles.
We still do have staff furloughed. And we just don't have enough hours to go around for everybody. And I found that a lot of staffers are, like myself, I normally am in charge of the bar. I manage that. But I was slinging canoes. I was, throwing things in the water. It's just whatever, our staff is taking whatever is available. It's like, I have hours for this. If you want them, take them. If you don't, and everyone's taking them, so.
So we're a really small business. There's just 5 employees. And we've managed to keep them on salary, even though they're not working. We took out a line of credit.
Nice.
Great. We have time for one more question. The gentleman next to Mr. Bonaparte in the gray shirt, I believe you had your hand up. Yes, sir.
I was curious about the zoos, you mentioned the family membership. Is that reciprocal to the other zoos in Florida?
Yes. Is there a reciprocal relationship with other zoos in Florida for the family pass?
Yeah, and it's not only Florida, but it's also just across the United States. Any association of zoo and aquarium facility usually offers a 50%, but it does vary place to place. Some are free, some's 50% off.
So one thing I was remiss in asking at the beginning, and it's because I've had the opportunity to work with all of you, but there are folks who probably haven't gone to your business. So if you could take 30 seconds and just tell us about what each of your organization does as we close out. Rose, you can begin.
Wekiva Island is a 5.5-acre property in Longwood. We offer canoe rentals, kayaks, paddle boards. We also have a bar on site, a gift shop, and a food truck. And I don't think you'd find a more beautiful place in Seminole County. So if you have not come down, please come down and see us.
And the food truck has phenomenal food. It's super good. Lobster sandwich. Dino.
Yeah, Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens. That pretty much sums it all. But we also do have a ropes aerial course. That is, if you're somewhat in shape, it's 2.5 hours to run the whole course. It's a blast. It's good for, friends, family, and small businesses.
So Adventures in Florida offers guided canoe, kayak, paddleboard tours to 18 different countries, plus all around Florida, and here locally on the Wekiva, Rock Springs, Econ, and over on the coast. And we also have a rental shop on the Wekiva River at Wilson's Landing Park, and we have a mobile outfitting unit on the Econ-Lockhatchee River near Snow Hill Road.
Well, thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Rose, Dino, and Greg. And please patronize their businesses as we go through the next few months of this super fun, and hopefully 2021 will bring us some great positive news all the way around. I do have one announcement though. I woke up this morning, I've been struggling for a couple of days, as I'm sure you're all aware as to why. It's been a tough week because I've accepted that I think Kanye is not going to win. So I don't know if some of you have accepted that. So on that note, thank you very much. Ben, are you? There you are.
One more round of applause for our panel and our... All right, we are going to be coming up with our closing it down. If you are not a member yet, please go to the back room and see Christy. Christy's right over here. If you join today, she will credit the cost of your ticket to your membership. You can't beat that. So please see Christy if you'd like to join. And now there would not be a Good Morning Seminole if we did not do our door prize. So it is a gift certificate from Diane from Holistic Beauty, a $45 value, and it is going to Chet Neal. Chet? Perfect, perfect. I'm sure that's going to find a great home somewhere. Your wife, yeah, sure, your wife, got it. All right, we have some exciting chamber crushes coming up between now and the end of the year. Please come and join us for lunch one of these days. There are still some booths for our expo on January 20th, so if you'd like more information, please reach out to Rebecca, and she can get you the information for that. And I'd like to thank Next Horizon, Highlight, J. Wayne Miller Company, Sanford Orlando Kennel Club, and Orlando Law Group for sponsoring this event. And I appreciate Lewis back there. There we go, Lewis doing our AV, making it possible for all of our Zoom and virtual attendees. And thank you to the Lake Mary Event Center for hosting us today, and have a great Seminole morning.